This is Kessben 93.3 FM, a new wave of excellence in radio.
93.3 live on Kessben television. Ronaldo Nazario Edin Sembi Atuja afa ne incredible career onyae na Andy minim sansim wa kan bi na Ronaldo says more than no
yes
and Tibu Kutua and so Kikan Sembi and so the father Kuntia goalkeepers omo undervalue omo. Interesting.
You know,
very interesting.
Kotoa like it so emotional statement from Kotoa, and I totally agree with him. The last time I make say game near shot Obia share the offensive side of the game. Into your point match now. Near Wisa say one the chicken ye, one the ball pa, one is still goals, and in recent times game is about goals. We don't celebrate saves or stadium. There be. Yen celebrate tackles our stadium. Yen celebrate clearance our stadium. But what you say? Net na kosra bafema na the whole park na ye in ecstasy. Sana football ni aye no. Inti ye tournament ya dance ye competition ni via. Everybody will be talking about the goalkeeping. Everybody will be talking about a player or entertaining support. No, a player or ye creative, player or ye strong, player or taking center stage, and all these, you know. Couple with certain things, and I believe we say the goalkeepers are not given so much respect in post. And I totally agree with him. Very few teams, and I are great without an exceptional goalkeepers. Very few. You can check from the World Cup, you can check from the Champions League, both in the Copa Libertadores, both in the European Champions League. You can talk about the AFCON, you can talk about the Copa America and other competition. Very few teams and are great without an average goalkeepers. So open say team here stronger, you beat me from near the Akusi Africa, near the Ako Europe near Kwakoche.
Okay.
Mobo teams. That is said the team ya obo ya. Ye de ya me hu bebrebe, but at least we saw the Kotoko team na ensmeded up a coachy. Ye hu the Kotoko team na Razak a coachy. You be who coach Bashir Hayford a team now, and in House of Folk we've seen the series of House of Folk team in the 2000 where they were dominant, in the team where they won the Confederation Cup. House of Folk team a Belgian league in the last time, and their better days in Africa. Ninyi na dino ayekoma. Open so goalkeepers na ebe bubo omudi no. Omo ye goalkeepers no momo de bo so nipa. You can talk about Luis Kwenu, you can talk about Seboatin. You can talk about Jikamwakon. You can talk about Sulama Abdullahi. They know now they know Akwakugu. Oh yeah, no about Bashar House of Folk. At a point, now House of Folk ego a team. 3 national team goalkeepers in Samia J, Eben Amadida, and then James Nano. And those times House of Folk exceptional seasons within the ranks. Not only in Ghana, but Africa as a whole. Adriana Stars CG League dominating no more Joseph Adu in post. You can go back to Ash Gold and talk about Nibomwaki and other goalkeepers also keep posting in the mom. Now, so we go to Africa. So Cameroon, then you are talking about Jasongo and then Joseph Antoabel. Peter Rufai, when you goalkeepers, I don't give you so much promise, but even in that Nigeria team, they did well, and it was a teamer. So now come qualify the ball. South Africa 1996, Njabana, Nigeria would have defended the AFCON after they have triumphed in 1994. Oba no asan ba be the CAF Champions League. You know, talk about Denis Oyengo. Talk about my own El Shenawi. Naka the back days of Ali. Now show mu teams are omo. Go back to the team B Mozambique team. Time no mu win, no mu dominate African football no check goalkeepers. We are now jump ko Europe. Now share Europe. The Manchester United team of 1999. Yen team analyze omo. Nye nya the exploit of Peter Schmeichel. We cannot talk about the dominant Chelsea team without the exploits of Peter Cech. Yen team care about the Arsenal team and leaves James Lehmann behind. We can't talk about the current Manchester City team and leave Abrante Ayefreno, Edison, and even in that average Chelsea team that won the Champions League or Allianz Arena, go and watch that game and check the exploit of Peter Cech. By you no be a candidate draw basem. we cannot talk about teams are ISL within the EPL ranks and the recent Liverpool team when they won the Champions League. Genoa, Wanda Metropolitano, the exploit of Alisson Becker. The same Liverpool team when they won the Champions League at Ataturk in 2005. Kohe Juma, goalkeeper friend Jesse Dudek, a body man Liverpool. In the Premier League, you look beyond and go to the Serie A. Kohe the AC Milan days of leader. Kohe the exploit of Gigi Buffon in the Juventus setup. And the Inter team with Francesco Toldo. Untimi nyasa goalkeeper singing now. Oma pay omu dues. And when you say Mono ko Inter Milan, no be a Bonabasno, he has a certain Julio Cesar imposed. Kerm and Nako Barcelona. Barcelona are blessed with exceptional goalkeepers until recent times. But even with Vidal Valdes, Genoa, Sata no bad. He was an average goalkeeper. But look at Marc-André ter Stegen. Look at Claudio Bravo. Even the better days of Real Madrid are no more prima donnas and Galacticos. Now Ike Casillas Fernandez was at his peak, even at the age of 18. No, that promoted the Real Madrid. At a point, it was between Casillas and other teams in the Madrid setup. Into Opa, you know, we are singing now. Team be a higher dominant, no, a very good goalkeeper. You can talk about Yev Lashin. You will not talk about the Brazil team and leave Claudio Tafarel behind. Talk about the Spain team and you cannot leave Casillas behind. Talk about the German team and you cannot leave Manuel Neuer behind. The goalkeepers na ye Juma. You can't let go Madrid, Atletico Madrid. You can't Diego Costa. Ni you can't Gabi. Na you can't Koke. Na you share the exploit of Jean Oblak. In as much as you tepa Kneswa. And then you now call the attacking phase of the game. And when that the ecstasy, the entertainment and the enjoyment in the one. You know, you goalkeepers in most games. The German team that played in the final in 2002 was an average setup, except Brett Schneider and Oliver Noble. I know when you're very exceptional sitting the Bundesliga and Europe as well. But check the exploit of Oliver Kahn in that particular team. Let us not forget Fabien Bettel's exploit in the French national team in the 1998 World Cup. Inti Genoa, goalkeepers ne die omaye adwuma. Na yentimi mu boni enya omumu. But the sad aspect is that Cedru see a kwakujina podium no so. Even when we are talking about great players, nobody talk about Dinosaur. How many people talk about Yev Lashin? How many people talk about Ike Casillas? Say ye kroma, ye bo players ye baba show omni ye ka omo ya de Genoa. Mo bo Prince Poli, na mo bo Pokunti, na mo bo Mama Akwa, na mo bo Kofi Badu. How many of you mention goalkeeper Antonio Sekoju? I hold was saying Robert Mensah. I hold was saying a Casamia G. I hold was saying a Kasulama Abdullah. I hold was saying a Rich Roll Lekensen. But Ghana, you call World Cup now, you know, some more Jano. Go back, half time, and watch the Ghana game 1-on-1. Most of the game, go back by Ghana standard, apart from goal, they was our best player. Into goalkeepers, no respect any dear was here, the mom didn't rap. But that is football. You know, you share the attacking phase of the game. And how many times you celebrity saves? But everybody celebrates goals.
Oh yeah, sure. Say goalkeepers, you're more moody.
General, I'm different opinion.
On your way, with a banana movie.
Sure.
Sure.
But makes me from different angles.
Okay, with the banana Hollandia.
Sure.
Now, Abum, Mami's you. Let me put us away. Sure. Say goalkeepers, only sir recognition.
You know, money,
sir.
David.
The Ghana have more only Dean.
Ghana team na the Copa World Cup no. It's all about some
more Joka num din.
How many times?
You're more Robert Mensah num din.
You know how many times?
Kofi no or no Kremum.
How many times?
Mohamed Odum.
How you and it's all you more with you, but how many times? Go and watch the 2001 UEFA Champions League final between Real Madrid and the Bayern for Leverkusen na kohe de Juma Casillas here. But you no be a Zidane Sizaki no. Go Barcelona versus Inter Milan and go and watch Julio Cesar exploit in that particular game at the new camp. Everybody was talking about Diego Milito and Wesley Schneider.
Chelsea recent match, me for one question.
Yes.
Kepa.
Yes, the last two games.
No,
yes. Let Chelsea win the Premier League. Ni analyze it. Chelsea will be the last person to talk. Or only the last person ever can watch it.
Wow.
Until I may say, Chelsea and the Bayern Munich ball game no Allianz Arena. It was Peter Cech and the Bayern Munich team. By a real game, everybody spoke about Didier Drogba exploit. One more about Peter Cech. It is not more mudin, but there are games almost to do tall. Your ball Champions League final we were when that Metropolitano no. Now Alisson Becker at the 13 minutes I had 8-point blank saves against Tottenham Hotspur. Your point game everybody was talking about Musala. And did you know Sahanet here? Koshe Brazil versus Germany in 2002 World Cup final. Now go here Juma Marcos Boye. But everybody was talking about Ronaldo. And Ronaldo has enjoyed those 2 goals from that time the Babi Sine. Go back and check the 1998 World Cup, the work of Claudio Taffarel against Denmark, against Chile, and against Netherlands in the semi-final. By a real tournament, yes, Ronaldo had the best player. And everybody was talking about the Brazil team. In Genoa, goalkeepers in Minkasi more mudin. But I'm saying more I betom. A year dinner mobobono, Wamuna Mubomudin. Mubo,
Apple for Apple players.
And one attack is none of Mubomudin.
Attackers and go. No. We are defender, we are midfielder, we are attacker.
But you know how many bomb yes. Defenders now one off. You can't edit team no more dominate here and they started ball from one. Yeah, and you can't Butreka. Near can't Ahmed Husni. Near can't Husni Bubarak. Near can't how many of those players or more anymore? But you know, Osama Hadari Juma Wayeno. See, he is as good as Abutreka in that particular team. He is as good as Samueleto in the Cameroonian team. He's as good as Asamoah in the Ghana team. He's as good as Patrick Mboma in the Cameroonian team. But you know, you bought Hussam Hassam, Ahmed Hassam, and leave out Hussam Hadari. Into Minka say goalkeepers in the Momudin. Sundowns, everybody spoke about Leonardo Castro and Kama Billiat. But Denis Oyengo exploiting post. How many people discuss that? They come back to team na and can Jabreni and can Hosseini and goalkeeper. And you know, I mean, can't see more goalkeepers in the game. But I'm saying that the game, you shed the attacking phase of the game. Right. But there's no great team.
Apart from also more Sadi goalkeepers need you. Courtois, not doing say FIFA, say UEFA, say CAF, why recognition is on my goalkeepers. No, on from your coach be or say, coach last year. If we won the Champions League, it wasn't just thanks to Vinicius, Valverde, Benzema, or Rodrigo. It was also thanks to Courtois.
Perfect.
We free Thibaut Courtois.
Yes. Many agree.
And until our case, Ballon d'Or na nansia yadima Benzema no. Or especially can the Ukraino be a first 5. I see you say, but the best goalkeeper no po. As in Kerm. But goalkeepers are undervalued. As well, what can I say? I don't know.
The other told the two yes,
what told the
yes. Until now, see you go through. Means a ton in Benya Biamaya. You know, go ahead the PH match in the view. Match the view out to home. Go and watch that game again. Go and watch the Chelsea game again. And go and watch the Manchester City game. And the final. Final on the first 30 minutes were between Courtois, Casemiro, and the whole Liverpool setup. It was Courtois. By your point, you know, Obiase Vinicius.
See, as well as Courtois will say, the modern goalkeeper is no longer there just to save goals. Here in Madrid, I also have to start the place. It is I who, with the first pass, will decide how we going to mount the attack or how we are going to get out of the rivals' pressure. Today, you are almost a playmaker. Goalkeepers are much more important than you think. Thibaut Courtois.
Yeah. Manchester City team na down. Nipa ho do say na kan mo boy de Saint Morales abaso. But he started the play. He set the tone. He started everything in defense. The same thing applies to the Courtois. And you know, goalkeepers they are undervalued. Until na certain games. Goalkeepers na you by you know. Na your body will say go needing. We won't see a ranking and do makwa kwashase. And mostly from the defensive side, Madrid full team no you know. Games ni bebre omo boy no Courtois je omo. But only mta to we look at this save on TV, you know. Yeah. Look at this save on TV. Look at that save.
Okay.
Why in Juma and right. General, I totally agree with him. Say, look at this save again. It was Courtois. But everybody spoke about Vinicius and Karim Benzema. And the game no sa no no. Sa na tie UEFA, FIFA, everywhere. At the BBC baby IT Genoa. Goalkeepers are undervalued.
Moment for the last quote, na menko Marijata akokono Tibua Kutua say coach, without a good goalkeeper you don't win a trophy. And at football awards sometimes we forget people vote faster for a forward who scores goals than for a goalkeeper. It's a shame, but we'll continue to show that goalkeepers are really important. We created and
then now my case they are not recognized because Yensha have Konya boy Sadio Mane and all those charges did well. But is anybody telling me Gabaski? He picked Egypt from the group stage to the finals. He was as good as any player who played in the tournament. Egypt played against the Elephant of La Côte d'Ivoire. Egypt won against Morocco. Egypt won against Cameroon. But you know, you are the best player coming powerful. That is the issue that we're talking about.
Okay.
It's not make us celebrate goals. We don't celebrate saves.
Okay.
And yes, Gabaski more than in the AFCON, you know. She teams now, her countries now, Egypt in boy, and he was the only person. You born in every game.
All right.
But after the tournament, ni Sadio Mane muhasem, any Koulibaly money mendi muhasem.
Felix Annan won it in 2019. Nanayao, Ashaiman, Lebanon, and Ukraine. Best player in Ghana.
There were 3 players
Annan,
you
best player in Ghana.
Felix Annan, Imano Demfi, and one other player.
Felix Annan, best player in Ghana. Best player. Sir.
One of that was.
Yeah. But sir, you know Effie from the Effie. There be South America on be a swag award and I say
Most from Babefa.
Messi Ghana team. Your team na the World Cup. How many people in the camp about Olili? Your team na the World Cup in 2006, 2010, 2014. How many people in the camp about Olili? Some more than KP Boateng in 50 on the year. How many people? But you know I'm a Kotanase. Na a game in 1 by 1. We are not being your best player.
Kessben 3.3 live on Kessben television.